Good morning. So today is day one of a 9-day trip. I got a week off plus 2 weekends, and I am in Kanab, Utah. If you're coming from Phoenix, Kanab is kind of the gateway to the Red Rock country. From here, you connect up to Rice, Zion, Grand Staircase. So I'm going to spend the next week of this trip exploring basically from Zion down to Las Vegas. So through St. George and the Arizona Strip and Nevada, and potentially, depending on time, a little bit into California, into Death Valley, if the timing works out right. This is a different sort of video for me. I've been on YouTube for a long time. I've been making videos since like 2012, and they've gotten to be pretty formulaic, right? I basically just take footage from a hiking trip and edit it together and throw some music over it and call it good. That's convenient to me in terms of editing. I don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but it's not that interesting. So I kind of want to change it up and see about doing a little bit more narrative videos that don't just show the hiking, but show the sort of trip surrounding the hiking a little bit more, the driving and touring and visiting scenic spots. And I may not do this again, depending on how much effort it takes. I may not use this footage I'm shooting right now, but I thought it'd be interesting to change it up and try to do something a little different than my norm. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so this is today's first side trip. So this is the Smithsonian Butte Backcountry Byway. This is So over this hill, on the other side of this hill is Zion. So this is going to lead us up onto a mesa that has some nice views of Zion. The mesa is called Gooseberry Mesa, and it's a fairly famous mountain biking area. So I got my bike covered so it won't get dusty. And then just something I saw when I pulled over here. It is a looks like a coyote roadkill. Okay, so I've never been up here before, so let's go explore. All right. Okay, so this is the view from along Smithsonian Butte Road. You don't actually have to drive very far off the highway to get up here. And unfortunately, this may be the wrong time of day. So this is Zion, right? Like all of this is Zion, but that area there is Springdale, right? And Zion Canyon. And then you've got Rockville and Hurricane down that direction. But unfortunately, everything is in shadow right now. So it's pretty, but not the best photography. But I'm going to be in this area for a couple days, so I might come back out here to do a little camping. And I think late afternoon is probably the time to be here for photography. Anyway, super pretty, not far off the road. The highway, backcountry byway rather, does continue down into Rockville, but from what I understand, the last part of it is a little gets four-wheel drivey, so I'm just going to turn back and go the way I came. The Subaru might be able to handle it. It's one of the annoyances of being a Subaru owner is when they say four-wheel drive, what does that mean? Does it mean it's sandy and really loose? Because the all-wheel drive and good tires does great work with that. Or does four-wheel drive mean there's ledges that you need a lot of clearance to get over? So I'm gonna let discretion be the better part of valor and assume that they mean it gets ledgy and you need a big lifted truck to get down it. And I'm just gonna turn and come at Zion through Hurricane. All right, let's see here. Yep. So there's a traffic jam in Rockville, and a dude coming the other way said it's supposed to be like this until about 11 or 12. There's a race or something. I don't know why they did that on a Saturday. But I just decided to park my car and pop the bike off and ride in instead of driving rather than waiting. So nice to have flexibility. Oop, excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what?
On your right. It's on, right? Yep. Man, am I grateful for the bike. Howdy, sir. Is the road open to bikes?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. So I stopped at the visitor center and got a Zion Express permit. Zion requires you to get your permits in person, but if you've got an Express pass, you can get them online. And the visitor center is kind of a zoo, so if you like to come here to go canyoneering, it's a good idea to get that Express pass. It's a little bit of a hassle. They make you sit and watch videos for half an hour. But that's done. So now I'm gonna bike up the road. I think because I had to start a little further out in Rockville, I'm not actually gonna bike all the way to... All right, so I got my Zion Express permit. I think because I had to start a little further away from the entrance up in Rockville. I'm not going to bike all the way to the Narrows today. I think I'm going to bike to the Court of the Patriarchs. There's a trail there that I haven't done. It's not a premier trail in Zion, but I've done all the premier trails multiple times, so this will be a new one for me, another one to tick off the list. So let's hop on the bike and let's go. Now we're on the Pa Russ Trail. I don't know if I'm saying that right. As a trail, this is not super interesting, but as a bike ride, it's great. This is the court of the patriarchs. This is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is one of the shuttle stops on the Canyon Shuttle. And there's a trail here called Sand Bench, which I've never been on. It's not one of the marquee trails like Angel's Landing or the Narrows, both of which I've done multiple times. So, I mean, a trail in a national park, something that looks like this, is pretty premier regardless. So this should be a nice hike. They do trail rides on this. That's what this trail is known for. In the summer, there's a constant stream of horses going up this, so it might be a kind of a trashy trail, but sure is pretty. This trail is a little bit of a pain in the ass. It's sandy and uphill and exposed and wide, you know, because it's used by horses. But man, these views of the patriarchs really something. I feel like this would be a great trail to do in the rain. You know, when the exposure doesn't matter
And when most of the canyons, you know, most of the interesting hikes shut down in the rain here, this would be a good one to keep in your back pocket for when it's rainy. Really nice overview of the Watchman and Canyon Junction and the visitor center and the switchbacks going up to the tunnel. This is the money shot for this hike, in my opinion. Can't get an overview like this of sort of the heart of the canyon any other way. It's beautiful. Second half of this trail is a huge improvement on the first half. You travel more along the edge of the sand bench with just lots of little overlooks and views. I was bitching before, but this is a pretty sweet trail. All right, well, that was awesome. Totally worth doing. But I think now I'm gonna head back. My car is still down in Rockville, parked in front of some random person's house. So I'm gonna ride back and fetch my car and get some lunch in Springdale, and then figure out what's next. Right, okay. So, thank you. So we're in St. George, Utah. I'm decided to come out of Zion. I went to Zion because that was my original plan. I was going to start backpacking in Zion tomorrow.
1,000 feet, turn right onto North 1,000 East.
But now that that plan has changed, I don't actually need to stay in Zion right now. Because it's a Saturday and it was pretty busy. Visitor center was pretty crowded. So
take the next right onto North 1000 East.
Thank you. So I'm heading to a slightly more obscure location that shouldn't be pretty deserted even on the weekend. And I'm gonna camp there tonight. I'm gonna hang out in St. George tomorrow. And then on Monday, when the weekend ends, that's when I'll go back to Zion National Park. But for today and tomorrow, I'm gonna be out of the park and exploring some more off the radar places. Hi, so this was an impulse stop. I was driving to Hurricane and I saw a sign that said Lavercan Overlook, and I got time to spare, so why not? So this is Zion is this way, and this is the canyon of the Virgin River, and I think just over, you know, the cliff's going to drop off. We'll get a good view of Hurricane.
All right, I think this is as far as I go. I bet this trail goes all the way down though, because I can see it there dropping. Yep. I bet there's a lower and upper trailhead. Still, that was worth the detour. Now I gotta go back up. Ugh. There is breakfast, which came out pretty delicious, despite kind of some disasters in cooking. So this is where I camped last night, and it's in the middle of this really pretty geologic area that I'm sort of on the fence in terms of if I want to name it or not. You know, I came up here, this is Sunday morning. I camped here Saturday night on a holiday weekend, and there was no one here. And it's spectacular. It reminds me of Tent Rocks in New Mexico a little bit. It's about, so I think what I'll say is it's about an hour and a half north of St. George, sort of near Enterprise, Utah. And it's in the Dixie National Forest, near the Utah-Nevada state line. That should be enough information to go looking for it without broadcasting this location all over the internet. So, all right, I'm going to eat, and then we're heading back to St. George to do some biking. This is Snow Canyon State Park. This is where I'll be biking today, right up that road. All right, so we are at a parking lot on the Red Cliffs Parkway above St. George, and we're all locked up. We're gonna do another bike ride. So we got solar panel recharging the battery while we're away. Everything is locked up. Keys are here. All right. Hopefully my car don't get screwed with while I'm gone. Always a little bit paranoid. This is Snow Canyon State Park. Visitor center there. And this is the bike path. This is supposed to be one of the nicest bike paths in the country. So it traverses through the whole park and then it comes back down along the highway that I drove last night. Should be pretty good. I'm still at Snow Canyon. I was passing by this area and got off the bike, climbed up this little hill. Since I was really intrigued by these multicolored hills. It's gorgeous, man. It's really something. Hi.
Do you live in Utah?
No.
Okay, it's 20.
So I'm having dinner at Sand Hollow. This is my second time here. I gotta say, it didn't really change my impression from the first time I was here. It's a nice park. It's not really for me. My tastes, I guess. Well, I don't mean that in a judgy way. Like, if your main way of spending time in the outdoors is mechanized, I guess. If you like running around in motorboats or on all-terrain vehicles, off-road vehicles, or you're in an RV and you want full hookups, like, this is paradise. There's all kinds of stuff to do here, but that's not really what I'm into. So, but it, for the price of admission, they have really nice showers and it's a nice place to have dinner. So, not complaining. All right, cheers. Good morning. I am at the East Mesa Trailhead, and I'm heading out on the East Mesa Trail, and we're going to go check out Observation Point. Normally, Observation Point is hiked from the bottom of Zion Canyon from Weeping Springs, but that's been closed for a few years now, that trail. It needs rehab, so up this trailhead, we'll get to the same point. It's not quite as spectacular hike, but it is a lot easier. And it'll be nice to be up there. There should be very few people out at the point. There were some people at the trailhead, but they were pretty obviously canyoneers who were going to hit up Mystery Canyon today. So let's go. Wow. Well, that was great. Just realized I don't think I shot any video on the actual at observation point. So caught up in the view. I was so caught up in the view and taking still pictures, I didn't really get video. It was cool though. It's worth doing. And this is a nice way to do it. It's not too hard compared to coming up from the bottom. So it was a little crowded. You know, there were people coming and going the entire time I was there, but still very pretty. This is Mystery Canyon. I did this back in 2018. It's named for this formation here, which is called the Mount Mystery. And the entrance to Mystery sucks. You're basically just going straight down a scree slope all the way to the bottom of the canyon. It's one of the worst entrances I've ever done. Beautiful canyon, but not fun getting in there. All right, moment of truth. So I drained my battery pretty hard, recharging my bike batteries, and also using an electric blanket when it's camped up in the pines. And so it was my house battery was at like 27% this morning. When I drove it to the trailhead, it was at 38%. And it's been in the sun since then. So 51 for about 2 hours worth of solar charging. We're getting 75 watts input. Not bad. All right. So that was a fun hike. I think I'm going to cook because I didn't eat much in the way of breakfast. There's some nice shade here. So I'm going to cook a meal and then figure out what I'm doing next. All right. So I had a quick lunch after getting back from my hike out to Observation Point. And now I'm just down the road at Stave Spring Trailhead. We're going to hike out from here to Deer Trap Mountain, which is a real similar hike, mostly flat hike across the plateau above Zion Canyon, and should finish at a nice viewpoint down into the canyon. It's a little bit longer, about 8 miles, and should be a lot less crowded than the trail to Observation Point. I think it's like 8 miles total, and it's 1 o'clock now, so we got, say, 5 hours of daylight. But it's a mostly flat trail, so it should be pretty cruisy. Hopefully I can be back at the car by like 4:35 and pass through Zion Canyon right around sunset, which will be nice for photography. So should be a pretty chill hike. We're at the end here. This is Deer Trap Mountain. I think the trail comes around here. What a view, though. So this is Deer Trap Mountain. I would call this better than Observation Point. And that's not, I mean, Observation Point is amazing. But this is a continuous panorama. The trail kind of skirts along the edge of Deer Trap, looking down into Zion Canyon. So you get this sort of continuous spectacle. Plus, there's way fewer people. Observation Point is mentioned in all the how-to Zion guides, and you don't hear much talk of this mountain. It's, I think, like 8.5 miles, 9 miles. So maybe that's a little bit beyond most casual day hikers' range, and that's why, but it is something. This is the view at the end of the trail. That's Angel's Landing looming out of the darkness there. God damn. What a view. And sweeping, right? So you go this direction. That's the view that you walk in on. This is my favorite high elevation hike that I've done at Zion. Angel's Landing is fun, and Observation Point's super pretty, but this is just awesome. So over there is Heaps. That's one of the toughest canyons in Zion. You can see here, hang on, let me zoom in a little bit. I can show you. Why can't I zoom? There we go. So you can see the final rappel of Heaps there. That's the bird perch, and then it's a 300-foot rappel, which is also the waterfall that's at the top of the Emerald Pools hike. And then this canyon here, I believe that's Lodge Canyon, which has a reputation for catching people unaware. It's got a huge rappel in it, and people get caught down here without bringing a long enough rope. Anyway, this is a great hike. Sun is low in the sky though, so I'm not going to linger for too long. Get a couple more pictures and call it a night. Well, that was awesome. I almost didn't do this hike either. So totally worth it. I still got about a mile to get back to my car. But it's getting dark, and so I thought I'd film a wrap up now. I think I'm gonna eat at Zion Ponderosa tonight. They have a nice kitchen, they have some good food, and then I'll camp, and tomorrow I'm gonna do the Narrows. So, all right, cheers. Good morning. It's my birthday today. I woke up early this morning and drove through the east side of Zion just right as the sun was breaking. It's really beautiful. And I didn't get any video of it, but I did the Canyon Overlook Trail, which is a nice short trail and was really great in the morning light. I've done it before, but it's been, I think, about 8 years since the last time I did it. And then I got a birthday call from my wife, and I made scrambled eggs for breakfast. And my plan today was to do the Zion Narrows. The sky is a little gray, so I'm gonna check the forecast before I commit to the Narrows versus going to do something else. But I'm in my happy place, and it's my birthday. How can I complain? All right, cheers. arrived at the Zion Narrows. This is my first time hiking it up from the bottom. I've hiked it from the top down a couple times, and I've hiked out of it once or twice from a technical canyon, but I've never just done the tourist hike up from the bottom and turn around, so this will be good. I think so I'm putting on the GoPro just to make this a little easier, and I think I'm going to capture video on the way up and time lapse on the way back. I mean, there's people here, but it ain't too crowded. It's not too cold. I've got a 3 mil wetsuit on with 5 mil socks, and that's plenty. I think the air temperature still isn't low 50s, but I don't know, it's not too bad. Ooh, Mystery Falls. So when you do Mystery Canyon, this is the final rappel. I've done that once, man, I need to do that again. Whew. spot is going to be my turnaround. I've been here before, and I have a photo here. It's actually one of my favorite photos I've ever taken. So I really wanted to make it at least as far as this spot visiting. I don't know why, it's just a photo that really stuck with me. So I'm going to try to recreate it. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think this is a good spot. Good morning. So I ran out of battery towards the end of the narrows hike yesterday, but basically I just hiked out, took my bike back to town, and then had dinner in Springdale. Today, I think this is my last day in Zion, but I'm just kind of continuing the theme of poking into corners of the park that I haven't seen before. So I'm driving up the College Terrace Road today. I've been up here before for to do the subway, a couple times to do the subway, but I've never done anything besides that. And so I just want to kind of see what kind of scenery there is along the road. And then there's a couple short hikes up on the terrace that you can do. So I'm going to do that, and then if I have time, I'm also going to head over to the College Canyon section of the park and do a short hike there. And I think then that'll be it for Zion for this trip. So I'm going to slap the GoPro on the car so we get some video of the scenery heading up the College Terrace, and let's go. This is the first quick stop on the College Terrace Road. It's a little section. It's right near the Hop Valley Trailhead. It's called the Hoodoo City. Just a cool little section of slick rock. And little hoodoos. Here we are on top of the hoodoos. Nice view, a little bit not the best time of day for this, but pretty. All right, onward. All right, so I'm a little bit further up the College Terrace. There's a nice formation on that side. And I'm doing a trail called the Northgate Peaks Trail. A little bit off the radar, but it gets to a nice overlook of some of the formations, Guardian Angel and the Northgate Peaks. And I've done the first half of this trail before. It's the same. The first part of this trail, it's the Wildcat Canyon Trail. It's the same as the trail to get to the subway in Das Boot. So, should be chill. It's only 2 miles there, 2 miles back. It looks like it's almost all on the flat, so should be a nice chill hike. Alright, so here's our final view. That's one of the Northgate Peaks. South Guardian Angel. The other Northgate Peak. Beautiful views. A little bit shadowed, but pretty. So the canyon on the other side of the Guardian Angel is the subway. And this canyon over here on the side of the Northgate Peak is Russell Gulch, which drops into the subway. Beautiful. On the way back from the viewpoint at the end of the Northgate Peaks, which is over this direction, rather than coming back on the trail, which goes here, if you stay to the east a little bit, you get a nice view. This is a more open view down into Russell Gulch and the Wildcat Canyon area. Well, that was fun. Just finished a hike out to the Northgate Peaks, and now I'm going to continue up the road. I've decided I'm going to drive past College Reservoir. This road actually continues all the way to down into Cedar City, and I think I'm going to do that, get lunch in Cedar City, and then loop back to College Canyons rather than going in and out. And I'm hoping that I'll have enough time to do Taylor Creek when I get to the College Canyon section, but if not, I should at least have time to drive out to the Timber Creek overlook and just check that section of the park out. I've been there once before, but it's been a long time, and it's not a very commonly visited part of the park, so I think that'll be pretty cool. This is Lava Point. It's the last spot in the park, I guess, on the College Terrace Road. Everything is real distant here, but you can see that's North Guardian Angel. That's the West Temple. And I don't know if I'm getting this right, but that's the Sentinel. Pretty cool to see it all from the top here.
So I just passed a sign that said road impassable during winter conditions, road closed, which is a little bit troubling. You know, there are no winter conditions. It has not snowed yet. It's chilly out. It's in the 40s, but there hasn't been any precipitation here in quite a while, and certainly not since the temperature has dropped. And so I wasn't 100% sure how to read that sign, if it was saying the road is officially closed now or the road is closed during winter conditions, if that makes any sense. It wasn't gated or anything, though I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to run into a gate at the other side. But anyway, the road is open. I'm not expecting any kind of snow or mud. And it would be quite a commitment to turn around at this point. So I'm going to press on and just keep my fingers crossed I won't run into a gate at the far end. We're in the Collab Canyon section of Zion. This is less visited than the main canyon, and I've been here once, but it's been years. It's incredibly impressive. I think when you don't see a place for a while, you lose your sense of proportion. Wow. All right, this is the Timber Creek overlook. It is at the end of the Collab Canyons Drive. Good morning. We are back at the Collab Canyon section of the park, and we're gonna go check out Taylor Creek. I wanted to do this yesterday afternoon. When I got here, it was just a little too late in the day. So I camped nearby, and now I'm back, and we're gonna go check it out. Cabin number 2.
So this is double arch alcove. The pictures that I've seen really don't convey the scale. That's thousands of feet tall. This tree right here is at least 100 feet tall. It's just absolutely stunning. Not a true arch, but still totally worth the effort to get here. Well, that was super cool. You might still be able to see it behind me. Yeah, that was totally worth the hike. Not a hard hike at all, and the whole hike is but pretty. And this was way bigger than I thought it was going to be. The photos that I've seen don't really do it justice. It's on a pretty big scale, though. It reminds me of the alcoves in Coyote Gulch. All right, I'm at a place called Lower Sand Cove Trailhead. It's above Gunlock Reservoir near Gunlock, Utah. I believe it's just BLM land, but there's some really pretty sandstone formations here. And we're gonna do a short hike to an area that supposedly has some pretty nice, has a pretty cool sandstone feature. And I'm taking the GoPro because I hear it's hard to photograph without a wide angle lens. So we'll go check it out. Let's go. Wow. Holy crow. Okay, oopsie daisy. Oh, this looks like something. Yep, that's it. Wow. Super cool. Alright, so there's a big pothole there, which I thought was the vortex, and then up here is something too. So, video is back on. Let's go look. Maybe. I think it was this one though. Both of them are incredibly picturesque. This area reminds me a bunch of Coyote Buttes. Holy crow, that is deep. Alright, well that was totally worth checking out. I'm gonna head down because I still have other stuff on my agenda I want to get done today. But this was worth the detour, and if you're looking for Coyote Buttes type beauty without permits, this is pretty close, honestly. Right. So it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm setting out to do Ghost Rider Canyon. It's a very short canyon in the Virgin River Gorge, which I've never been to before. I've driven through here once or twice, but never stopped and actually checked this area out. It's the Beaver Dam Wilderness, Beaver Dam Mountains Wilderness. This is actually Arizona. It's a little strip of Arizona that's isolated between Nevada and Utah. You can't get to it from any other part of Arizona. But so I've wanted to check this place out for a while. Most of the canyons in the Virgin River Gorge are all day affairs. But this is a fairly easy one. Every drop is bolted. It's like a mile total, the entire route. So I expect to be pretty easy. I've got warm clothing and water and food, you know, just in case I have a problem, and a satellite device. So, but I don't anticipate I'm going to have an issue. Ooh, that is gorgeous. Shit, we got to climb back up that? Ugh. So this canyon is it. It starts way quicker than I thought it would. Literally like a 5-minute walk from the car. Alright. It says I got an hour and a half of video, and so I might just leave it running. Supposedly this first one is a down climb or rappel, and when I'm solo I rappel if given the option. I see it, there's a chain there. All right, a little more. Okay. Yep. All right, rappel number 1. This is maybe the big guy. I don't know. Here's a bolt. Alright, so it's hard to tell exactly how tall this is, if this is the big one or not. So I'm going to act like it is. Rather than try to eyeball my throat, I'm just going to throw the whole length of the rope. Pull it to the halfway mark. Beautiful. There's a little arch right there. All right. Beautiful. Too much. All right. Whew. And we got to be getting near the end of it, because getting into it was like, you know, 5-minute walk on. So the canyon can't be that long. Pretty. I'll do one more. Feels pretty good. I might block it just because I'm not 100% certain that it that my rope reached the ground. So you block it. So if it didn't reach the ground, I'm on a single rope and I can climb back up pretty easily to deal with it. I'm pretty sure that it's fine though. Just being precautious. On the ground. Nasty little transition here. Kind of an awkward little rappel. Okay, so that is in fact the end of the canyon. We came down on this side, but you could just walk down there too. So I looked at the map, and Cedar Pocket Narrows are this way. So we're gonna go off this way. Yeah, see, there's that social trail. I think that just goes right up the hill. We're gonna go down. Here's the official trail. Okay, well, that's like nothing. Why do you need a social trail when the main trail's right there? It seems wasteful. Canyoneer bullshit. Okay, so there's the main trail up, but rather than do that right now, we're gonna go down to Cedar Pocket Narrows. I'll leave my pack though. It is 4:15, so it took us about an hour 15, maybe a little less, to get through the Narrows there. Wow. This is the real deal. Man, this is righteous. What a great fucking... What a great little hidden secret. Yeah, I've never heard of this place before. Well, at the top of the hill, the trail jogs over to an overlook of the Virgin River Gorge. What a great way to end the day. All right. So this morning we are heading out to Gold Butte National Monument. This is a recent monument. It was designated, I think, in 2016 by President Obama, sometime in Obama's last term. And I've never been here before, so always exciting to visit a place that you haven't seen before. Gold Butte is also, the second thing it's known for, besides being recent, it's also where those Bundy nut jobs are illegally grazing cattle and had that standoff with the police. And God, I guess that would have been in Obama's term also. Well, there's a history to this place. But apparently there's some neat formations and neat native artifacts and just a new place to see. So, and the road is paved the majority of the way, at least out to Whitney Pocket, which is where we're going. We're not going to go all the way to Gold Butte town site, but we're going to go to Whitney Pocket and then explore a couple of hiking areas nearby there. Alright. Coming up on area of interest, I think. There's a place called Whitney Pocket that is good camping. It's also the end of the paved road. And this looks like it potentially up ahead. We're starting to get into some red rock formations and some stuff. So, should be there soon. All right, so this is my first stop in Gold Butte. It's a big sinkhole called the Devil's Throat. We are at the Mudwash Corral, which is the sneak trailhead for Little Finland. So you can keep driving up this road another 6 miles or so and drive right up to Little Finland. But it gets pretty four-wheel drivey. Even the section that I drove in on was pretty sandy. And I wouldn't want to be out there without clearance and all-wheel drive, and I let air out of my tires for better traction. So the alternative to continuing on this road is you park here and then you just hike up and over this ridge here to get to Little Finland. And the road goes like way out and then comes way back in. And if you hike over the ridge, it's like a mile instead. It's not too far. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hike in the back way to Little Finland and then get some photos and stuff. Should be cool. We seem to be below Little Finland here. Scrambling route was no problem. Much easier than driving 5 miles of four-wheel drive road. So I think we're in these beautiful red hills, and I think we just need to find a way to scramble up top of this little sandstone hillside, and we'll be up in Little Finland. Well, I'm up in it. It's really cool. I haven't seen anything quite like it. Wow. Let's go exploring. It's good. It's hard for me to, I think it's hard for video to capture what it's really like to be here. Never been anywhere quite like this. Closest thing I can think of is Goblin Valley. Same sort of freestyle wander through crazy formations, but they're not like these. I've never seen anything quite like this. Alright, so I think I'm beyond Little Finland now, which is down in here. But it's a really pretty red rock area, so I'm in no rush to get back to my car. I think I'm going to try to hike across here and to the edge of the cliffs to get a view of these nice mountains. I'm not sure if that's Gold Butte or what, but it's a pretty mountain range, so I'm going to go check it out. Well, I reached the edge of the cliff, and it did pay off with a really nice view. So this is not Gold Butte. Gold Butte is more this direction, to the south. There's no peak that's named up there as far as I can tell. The map calls it Bitter Ridge. And somewhere up in here, there is a feature called Red Rock Spring, which I assume is a natural springs. So this was super satisfying. Finland itself was satisfying, and just wandering around here among the red rock, you know, in an area that has no real visitation. There were a few people at Whitney Pocket, but I haven't seen a soul up here. And that's cool, especially coming from the Zion area, to know there's places like this that are still backcountry, totally unexplored. Cool stuff. So I'm gonna wander back down to the car, and then we'll go to our second goal in Gold Butte. All right. Just in my little time walking around here, I've seen probably 24 arches. None of them are huge, but there's one there. There's one there. Passes through behind there. There's one there. That's probably one. Just walking around up here. Tons and tons of arches, and I assume most of them are unnamed. There's one right there. So be kind of fun to come out here and spend a weekend just arch hunting, cataloging arches. Wow, was pretty. All right. Well, that was fun as fuck. It'd be worth coming out here just to do that, to be honest. But I got one more objective at Gold Butte. Part of the reason why this monument was protected was a bunch of Native American rock art, and I got some intel on a couple of good sites. So we're gonna go do that next, if I can get out of this sandy ass road safely. All right, so this is our second hiking objective of the day. This area of Gold Butte is known as Newspaper Rock. There's a few sites, right? So there's Newspaper Rock, there's a famous petroglyph called Falling Man, another petroglyph that's less well known called 21 Elk, I think. And so it's a big area, the big concentration of petroglyphs right here. So we're gonna go check it out. This whole area with the pink sandstone is really cool. I mean, it's not even commenting on petroglyphs or anything. I just think the rock is really pretty. Looks like, though, there's some stuff up here. I believe this is called Calvin's Rock. There's an arch, too. Neat. There's a cool geometric design. There's a big arch that the trail passes directly through. In the description, it's called the tunnel. There's Petros and beautiful views. This is the other side of the arch tunnel. Beautiful petroglyph right there. And I think the route continues along this ledge. This is, I'm fairly sure, the site known as Newspaper Rock. Had to hunt a little bit for these, but this is the glyph known as Bigfoot. There's more there. It's unusual to have them on a flat surface rather than a horizontal surface rather than a vertical surface. There's a bighorn there, and tons more. Just everywhere you look here. There. All right, so the name of the panel is 21 Goats, not 21 Elk. But look at that. That is so impressive. There's more. It reminds me of the procession panel in Bear's Ears a little bit. Wow. Here too. Well, that was awesome. Maybe one of the most impressive pictograph panels I've ever seen. We're next to this wash. So I think we can follow this wash down and it will intersect with the road that we were driving on, and then we can turn right up the road to get back to the trailhead. So should be back there in 20 minutes or so. So that was Gold Butte. The one-day overview anyway. It was awesome. Every single time I come to one of these places, it's always a pain in the ass to get to, and it's always 100% worth it. No question in my mind, now having seen the place, why this was made into a monument. So there's more I could do here. There's a town site, as well as you can go, you know, you can peak bag Gold Butte and some of the other peaks in the monument. But I think I'm good for today. I was actually going to camp out here. There's some nice campsites at Whitney Pocket where you can you can camp right up next to, almost inside the formations. But those campsites were already taken when I drove in today. So I think I'm gonna head back to Mesquite. It's only maybe 3 o'clock or so, and that's a factor too. So I'm gonna go to Mesquite. I need to go to Home Depot. I'm having an issue with my bike rack, and I want to, you know, jury rig something so I can use it safely for the next couple days and get home. I'm going to have to replace it, I think. I've got it tied right now with climbing webbing, which is pretty good, but I want to get like some zip ties, I think. So I'll run into Mesquite. I'll take care of my bike rack. I'll see if I can find a self-serve car wash and hose off my bike because it's pretty dusty, and then find some place to camp. And tomorrow at 9 a.m. I've got reservations for Red Rock Canyon in Vegas. So I think driving back in tonight to Mesquite is probably a good call for that reason too, to get a little bit closer, make it easier to get to Red Rock on time. So 2 more days on this vacation. Tomorrow's Red Rock, and then we'll see what else. Good stuff. All right, we are at Red Rock Canyon, just outside Las Vegas, and it's time for a bike ride. Let's go. So I stopped at the Sandstone Quarry trailhead and scrambled up, followed the trail, and then did a little scrambling in the Calico Hills. And this is the view that I got. Gorgeous. I think either this big canyon here, let me see. Yeah, the big one there, or that one there. One of those two is Icebox Canyon. No, Ice Cube Canyon. Sorry. All right. Well, Red Rock Canyon is the last major stop. Second to last, actually. We're going to go to Mojave Preserve after this. But the trip's almost done. So, I'm going to get some nice lunch in Vegas. And then we'll go find a campsite out near Mojave Preserve. There's a hike I want to do there. I might have enough daylight to do it today yet, but if not, we'll do it tomorrow. I thought I would just share. I'm driving through Mojave National Preserve. It's right around sunset. It's just super beautiful. The light is amazing. It feels very remote. There's all these cool Joshua trees, and you can disperse camp here in the majority of the park. You just got to get off onto a side road and find a spot that has an existing pullout, like a fire pit and a pullout. So I am trying to get a little bit closer to where I'm camping, or where I want to hike in the morning, and then I'm going to find a camp. But it shouldn't be too much longer. But man, what a night. What a beautiful place. Great drive. Okay, here we go. We're getting close now. Hole in the wall. Wait, that can't be the road. Hole in the wall is a campground. It'll be full, but that's where the Rings Trail is, and that's the trail I want to hike in the morning. So I'm gonna disperse camp somewhere before Hole in the Rock, Hole in the Rock, and then head there in the morning and do a hike. And then this the other side of the preserve pops out on the I-40, and then you can just take that to Kingman and back to Phoenix. So should be a great day. great final day to finish the trip up. All right, peace. All right, well, that didn't take too long. So you can see here, this is what dispersed camping looks like here. This is a designated camping area in a Joshua forest tree right at sunset. What a beautiful spot. I'm gonna park here actually so I can get a cool photo and then I'll reposition. All right, so this is the final day of my trip. I'm at Mojave National Preserve. Had a beautiful camp last night in a grove of Joshua trees right as the sun set. It was really, really nice. And I'm in an area called Hole in the Wall now. I'm going to an overlook, but the main reason that I'm here is there's a trail here called the Rings Trail, which to my understanding it's a slot canyon called Banshee Canyon. And the rings are how they've tried to engineer the slot so that non-climbers can traverse it. You know, in some places they use ladders, some places use rope, some places use like catwalks. In this place they use rings, and actually I can sort of see the canyon. I think there's a trail right there. So this is the hole in the wall overlook. There's actually an arch up there, and Banshee Canyon is down there. So should be a fun way to finish up the trip. It's only a mile trail, so I expect it'll be over and done with quick, and then we can head back to Phoenix. All right. Well, that was cool. There's really just two little sections of rings, and you could probably scramble them without the rings. So not really much to remark on in terms of like technical fun, but a very pretty little section of rhyolite narrows, pockmarked with all these little holes and arches. Yeah, it was real pretty and worth going out of the way to visit. But that's it. So I think now this trail just loops around this butte and back to the car, and then that's it. Then I'm heading back to Needles, California, and back to Phoenix. So this was an awesome trip. There's a part of me that kind of regrets not doing the Trans Zion trek. It would have been warm enough for it, and really I just wussied out. I did lots of fun stuff regardless of missing that, but it would have been nice to do that. So but that's something I got to work on. I've been in this place before, you know, where I would curtail my hiking plans, look for sneak routes to exit early or cut them a day or two short, because I wasn't fit. And I think I'm back in that place coming off of COVID. And so I've been here before. I know what to do. I just got to start hiking lots during the week so that when I have trips like this, I'm fit and ready to tackle big stuff. And it's not just a matter of fitness, it's like mental commitment too. I've figured that out before, and I can do it again. So, but I don't regret this trip. I really enjoyed doing some, lesser visited sections of Zion. I I definitely wouldn't have got to see all the stuff that I did see had I followed the plan that I originally picked out. And a lot of the stuff I saw was really awesome. So, all right. I think that's about it for me. See you in the next one.